I'll mute that.
Rabbi Nachman of Bratslav tells the story of a wise and beloved king. Admired by his subjects for his justice and his compassion, he was reviled by a particular wizard who sought to do him harm. And so this wizard decided to place a curse upon the kingdom. Anyone who ate of the grain that grew for a period of 7 years would become insane. The king had a trusted prophet in his court who learned of the wizard's evil intent, not in time to stop the curse, but in time to warn the king. When the king learned of the pending doom, he gathered about him all of his advisors to determine a course of action. They decided that they would weigh all of the stored up grain to see if there would be enough to last everyone in the kingdom for 7 years. But alas, when they measured it, they determined there was only enough grain to last one person for 7 years. The prophet looked at the king and said, "Your Majesty, you must be the one. You will eat the untainted grain in order that you can continue to lead the kingdom." "No," replied the king. "If I am to lead the kingdom, I must remain a part of the kingdom. I must be like the people so that I can understand them. You will be the one. You will be the one who eats the untainted grain. And as the rest of us slip into madness, you will travel the kingdom from town to town, reminding the inhabitants of the difference between right and wrong, that their corrupt behavior is only because of the cursed harvest." Reluctantly, the prophet accepted his mission. And as the rest of the people ate of the contaminated grain and slipped slowly into madness, the prophet began his lonely journey from village to village, preaching the difference between right and wrong, reminding the people that they needn't act this way, that it wasn't true to who they really were. One day, in one town where the prophet spoke, an inhabitant approached him and said, "If this is true, if what you say is right and that our behavior is only a result of the cursed harvest, but that we are bound to act this way, why do you continue to speak when you know you can't make a difference?" The prophet replied, "Perhaps it's true. I can't make a difference. But maybe, just maybe, before you act, you will remember the difference between right and wrong, and you'll remember that the power to choose is yours. But even if I can't change you, by continuing to speak, I will remind myself of the difference between right and wrong, and I will not let your behaviors change me." The townsman looked at the prophet and said, "Very well, continue on your mission. And perhaps one day when we awaken from this curse, we will be able to join you." Reb Nachman reminds us that each of us is called upon to be a prophet, to speak truths no matter how difficult they may be to hear, and to speak them tirelessly, even at times when the task seems fruitless. And Reb Nachman also reminds us of the wisdom of the king, who understood that leadership toward change comes from within the community as we come to better understand ourselves and our own biases. When we do, our ears are opened to the prophetic call. We have entered what should be a time of extraordinary introspection in this country. We pray that our reflections on our past and on our present might lead us toward a brighter future, one grounded in justice and equality for all, values that should be at the core of who we are as Americans and as Jews. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I'm Rabbi Joshua Davidson, and I am overwhelmed to be standing once again on the bima of our glorious Temple Emanu-El sanctuary. It is our hope and belief that later this summer we will be able to worship again together here in person. But for tonight's service, we determined that it would be appropriate and safe to record a few moments in this sanctuary so that all of us might be inspired once again by its beauty, inspired to create a sanctuary within our own hearts.
O Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true, and with thanksgiving I'll be a living sanctuary for you. O Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true, and with thanksgiving I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Ve'asu li mikdash v'shachanti betocham va'anachnu nevarech Yah me'ata ve'ad olam. Please sing with us, O Lord. O Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true, and with thanksgiving I'll be a living sanctuary for you. And with thanksgiving I'll be a living sanctuary for you.
So I'm live now. Welcome again. Nothing kindles hope in the future when we need it, like the birth of a child. And tonight, we celebrate with Victoria and Josh Harlan in the naming of their daughter, Catherine Rebecca, whom they call Katya, born April 22nd. As we bring the three of them onto our virtual bima now, we offer these words of prayer. Our God,
source of all life. We thank you for the countless blessings you have given us. We thank you especially for the sacred joy and privilege of parenthood, which adds profound meaning and purpose to our existence. Grateful for your gift of new life, Josh and Victoria have come to this moment to thank you, O God, and ask your guidance in the upbringing of their newborn daughter, Catherine Rebecca Harlan. Grant to these parents wisdom, patience, and devotion, that they may raise Katya to live in accordance with your Torah. This Sabbath Eve, we give to this beautiful baby girl, hold her up so we all can see, the Hebrew name Keturah Bat Yoshua Uvida. May it become a name honored in the household of Israel. There she is. Misha Berach Abotenu Abraham Yitzchak v'Yaakov v'Imotenu Sarah Rivka Rachel v'Leah. May the one who blessed our ancestors before us bless Catherine with life and with health. May she be a source of joy to her parents as they raise her. May her grandparents celebrate with her all the milestones of her life. May hers be a life of Torah, Jewish learning, chuppah, loving companionship, and ma'asim tovim, good deeds, so that she might bring blessing to her family, our people, and God's creation. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and keep you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka. May the light of God's face shine upon you, and may God be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God turn his face toward you and bless you with peace. Amen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה.
And we have another hopeful moment to celebrate. Saturday, Owen Wright becomes bar mitzvah. Every time a young man embraces Torah and commits that its values will guide his life, he renews our faith in tomorrow. As we rejoice in this wonderful milestone in their lives now, I would invite Owen's family to kindle our Shabbat lights as the cantor leads us in the blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kirishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu להדליק נר של Shabbat.
Mazal Tov to you, Owen. We are so proud of you and look forward to celebrating with you.
Thank you.
Simen tov, mazel tov, simen tov, mazel tov, simen tov, mazel tov, simen tov, yehelanu, udechol Yisrael, yehelanu, udechol Yisrael. Yehelanu, ulechol Yisrael. Yehelanu, ulechol Yisrael.
Now we invite you to follow along in our liturgy by visiting our website, emmanuelnyc.org, and clicking on the Temple Emmanuel at Home button, where you'll find our Shabbat prayer book. And we continue there on page 21 with Baruch Hu.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai המבורך לעולם ועד.
Days pass and the years vanish, and we walk sightless among miracles. God, fill our eyes with seeing and our minds with knowing. Let there be moments when your presence, like lightning, illumines the darkness in which we walk. Help us to see wherever we gaze that the bush burns unconsumed, and we, clay touched by God, will reach out for holiness and exclaim in wonder, how filled with awe is this place, and we did not know it. Be our inspiration in the tasks that confront us, both in seasons of joy and times of adversity. Send forth your light and your truth to lead us. When doubt and confusion assail us, help us remain constant in our devotion to you. Deepen our loyalty to the sacred obligations which rest upon us. May our hearts never turn away from that covenant. Let our lives ever testify to our faith in you. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed.
Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, with all thy soul, and with all thy might. And these words which I command thee this day shall be upon thy heart. Thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt speak of them when thou sittest in thy house, when thou walkest by the way, when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. Thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thy hand, and they shall be for frontlets between thine eyes. Thou shalt write them upon the doorposts of thy house and upon thy gates, that ye may remember and do all my commandments, and be holy unto thy God. I, the Lord, am thy God, who led thee out of Egypt to be thy God. I, the Lord, am thy God. We are a people in whom the past endures, in whom the present is inconceivable without moments gone by. The Exodus lasted a moment enduring forever. What happened once upon a time happens all the time. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together.
מי כמוך האלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נורא תהילות עושה פלא, נורא תהילות עושה פלא. Together. מי כמוך האלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נורא תהילות עושה פלא, נורא תהילות עושה פלא.
those who celebrate Shabbat and call it a delight rejoice in your creation. All who hallow the seventh day shall be gladdened by your goodness. This day is Israel's festival of the Spirit, sanctified and blessed by you, the most precious of days, a symbol of the joy of creation.
ישמחו במלכותך שומרי שבת. ישמחו במלכותך שומרי שבת. וקורא עונג ישמחו במלכותך שומרי שבת. מקדשי שפי כולם יסבלו ויתענגו מטובך ישמחו במלכותך שומרי שבת ישמחו במלכותך שומרי שבת והשביעי רצית בו וקידשתו כמנהג ימים אותו קראת זכר למעשה בראשית ישמחו במלכותך שומרי שבת ישמחו במלכותך שומרי שבת. אדוני שפתי תפתח ופי אגיד תהילתך. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואמותינו אלוהי אברהם, אלוהי יצחק, ואלוהי יעקב, אלוהי שרה, אלוהי רבקה, אלוהי רחל, ואלוהי לאה. האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, עליון, גומל חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות. ומביא גאולה לפני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה.
Infinite is your power, O God. Great is your gift of life. In loving kindness, you sustain the world. Through the endless flow of your blessings, you preserve all of creation. You uphold the falling and heal the sick, free the captive, and keep faith with your people in death as in life. Who is like you, author of life and death? We praise you, God, the source of eternal life. O God, you uphold the falling and heal the sick. In this moment, we would gather into our prayers all those who are suffering, those struggling with illness or any misfortune. We believe that there is strength in prayer, and so that they might find the healing that our prayers might offer. I'd invite you to share aloud now anyone of whom you are thinking for their healing and their strength. We join in our Misha Beirach, our prayer of healing. The words are at the bottom of page 29.
Misha Beirach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us. Help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishaberach imotenu mekor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
We continue with our own silent prayers.
From a distance, the world looks blue and green, and the snow-capped mountains white.
From a distance, the ocean meets the stream, and the eagle takes to flight.
From a distance, there is harmony, and it echoes through the land. It's the voice of hope,
It's the voice of peace,
it's the voice of every man.
From a distance, we all have enough, and no one is in need.
There are no guns, no bombs, and no disease, no hungry mouth to feed. From a distance, we are instruments marching in a common band, playing songs of hope, playing songs of peace. They're the songs of every man. God is watching us, God is watching us, God is watching us from a distance. מרחוק אנחנו חברים, למרות המלחמות.
מרחוק קשה להאמין שכך אפשר לחיות.
מרחוק כולנו בהרמוניה, מהדהדת לאנוש. התקווה עוד כאן, אהבת עולם אדוני מגן מרחוק. אדוני רואה, אדוני שומר, אדוני מגן מרחוק. And God is watching us, God is watching us, God is watching us from a distance. Oh, God is watching us, God is watching us, God is watching us from a distance.
Shabbat Shalom. Last week, Reverend Stephen Jones spoke to our beloved community, movingly, forcefully, and honestly about racism, about the cruel and persistent indignities thrust upon the Black community, and about the devastating impact that centuries upon centuries of inequality, injustice, and maltreatment have wrought. The Reverend opened his heart and shared his profound pain with us. He bared his wounds and implored us to see them. He spoke his truth that we might learn from his experience. And he asked us, "Do you hear me?" And he asked us again, "Are you listening?" And he cried out, "Do you hear?" Reverend, we are listening. We are listening. And we intend to keep listening. In doing so, we must grapple with what listening truly means and how best to do it, how best to hear. How can we listen without judgment? How can we hear without editorializing? How can we create space for the voices of the Black community, including the voices of Black Jews? Black activist Lauren Whitney offers these words: just stop and listen. Now, in this critical moment of history, we must pause, reflect, and listen that we may hear from those in the Black community, those who have been so silenced in the past. This act of authentic listening is long past due. And while it may not be easy to allocate this space or refrain from filling it, while it may be uncomfortable to quiet ourselves and sit with our discomfort in order to grow together, in order to build bridges of trust and exchange, in order to create a more equitable system and world, we must do the work and open our ears and hearts. In our Torah portion, Beha'alotcha, we are reminded of this mandate. It begins with God's command to light the lamps in the Mishkan, the tabernacle. But the verb for lighting is unusual. It is not light in the traditional sense, but rather beha'alotcha, meaning when you lift up or raise up. As a congregation, we must reflect on how we can raise up our Black brothers, sisters, friends, and neighbors, how we can raise up their words and their stories, how we can raise up their experiences, their perspectives, and their truths. How can we help to raise up this community that has been so battered and bruised and brutalized? We must find a way, and we must figure this out through a rigorous an uncompromising process of self-examination, of owning our faults, naming our blind spots, and holding ourselves accountable. Tonight, we focus on one tactic, one strategy, just one first step towards a deeper understanding of racism and all the structures and biases that uphold it. And that is to quiet ourselves and simply begin by listening. Judaism is a religion of listening, teaches Rabbi Jonathan Sacks. And if there was ever a time to exercise that spiritual muscle, it is now. This piece that you are about to see, which was inspired by Samantha Beach Kiley's Psalm 23 and me, is an exploration of radical listening. It is an attempt to quiet my voice that others, long silenced, may now be heard. Shema, it is our time to listen. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Hear, O Israel, the Lord is our God. The Lord is one. Amen.
We continue now with Aleinu on page 104.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסר הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינת זו בגובה מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
Page 105. Where there are ignorance and superstition, let there be enlightenment and knowledge. Where there are prejudice and hatred, let there be acceptance and love. Where there are fear and suspicion, let there be confidence and trust. Where there are tyranny and oppression, let there be freedom and justice. Where there are poverty and disease, let there be prosperity and health. Where there are strife and discord, let there be harmony and peace.
ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
Page 107. In nature's ebb and flow, God's eternal law abides. When tears dim our vision and grief clouds our understanding, we often lose sight of God's plan. Yet we know that growth and decay, life and death, all reveal God's purpose. God, who is our support in the struggles of life, is also our hope in death. We have set the Eternal One before us and shall not despair. In God's hands are the souls of all the living. Under God's protection we abide, and by God's love we are comforted. O life of our life, soul of our soul, cause your light to shine into our hearts and fill our spirits with abiding trust in you. On this Sabbath, we recall Rabbi Samuel Adler, who served as the second rabbi of Temple Emanu-El from 1857 until 1874. Before coming to the United States, he worked strenuously for the improvement of Jewish education in Europe and fought laws and customs which prevented Jews from participating fully in the larger society. Services were still conducted in German when Rabbi Adler arrived at Temple Emanu-El. And once here, he was instrumental in revising the prayer book of his predecessor, Leo Merzbacher. Rabbi Adler was a Talmudic scholar and committed to translating his scholarship into social action. With gratitude, we take his example to heart. We also call to our hearts cherished members of our congregational family. Kent Tyler Abrams, Hilaire Beck, Carol Bratton, William A. Brilliant, Libby Chait, Michael Harrison Cohn, Robert B. Cohn, Jerome Davidson, Sheldon Duboff, Abe Friedman, Selma Geschwind Helsel, Julius Goldberg, Bob Heitner, Barbara Lynn Helpern, Berta Katz, George Katz, Morris G. Lader, Edwin Leister, May Marlowe, Beverly Plotsky, Harry L. Pollack, Doris Posner, Maxwell M. Rabb, Rose E. Resnick, Frida Rosenblum, David Rosenthal, Anne Rotenberg, Sally Rudd, Bernard Salomon, Kenneth Schwartz, Irene Eva Schwartz, John L. Squire, Elise Waterman, Hilda Storch Weiser, Marcia Weiser, Molly Weiss, Susan Weiss. If you are mourning a recent loss, we stand and remember with you. If you are commemorating a yahrzeit, we remember with you. We remember too all those whose lives have been lost to the coronavirus pandemic, as well as those in the violence in recent days. We turn now to the Kaddish on page 111. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei rabbah, yomad divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayedechol beit Yisrael, v'agalav v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shemei rabbah mivorach leolam la'almei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei dekudesha b'riachu. La'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tush b'chata v'nechemata, da'amiram bi'oma v'imru, amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort all who are bereaved among us. We say together, amen.
Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru, imru, amen. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
Shabbat shalom to you all from our sanctuary and from our homes as well to yours. Thank you for joining us this Shabbat. Temple Emanu-El continues to be a house of prayer, study, and connection for all. Immediately following this service, the Saviv community, our 20s and 30s demographic, will gather to celebrate Shabbat at a service of their own. And you're most welcome to join us for morning services at 10:30 tomorrow. Religious school-aged families are working with the Challenged Athletes Foundation on Sunday morning. If you would like to participate by Zoom, please contact the religious school. On Monday, the Virtual Stryker Center welcomes writer Deborah Feldman, author of Unorthodox, and actress Shira Haas, who stars in the miniseries of the same name. On Thursday, Stryker presents a conversation with Tony Kushner, who chronicled Our Last Plague with Angels in America. Our ongoing groups, Emanu-El Explorers, Stitch in Time, Community as Family, Monday Meditation, and Dorot support groups are all planning to come together again this week. Please consult the week ahead e-news for details. Friends, we are all listening and learning. A reading list with links to articles and videos under the title Anti-Racist Resource Guide is now available through the e-news or on our website for all who wish to learn more about systemic racism. The list is only a starting point. Please don't hesitate to reach out to us to continue the conversation. In recognition of World Refugee Day, next Friday night, Rabbi Levi Sell, author of Refugees in America, will speak. Please join us then as well. We hope to see you online soon and often. We continue now with Kiddush on page 113.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kirishanu b'mitzvotav v'ratza banu, v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava u'v'ratzon inchilanu, zikaron l'maaseh v'reshit, ki hu yom techila l'mikra'e kodesh, zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim. Ki vanu v'charta ואותנו קידשת מכל עמים, ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש Shabbat.
We continue with the singing of Shiru Ladonai.
Shiru Ladonai kol haaretz, shiru Ladonai shir chadash. Sing unto God all the earth a new song. I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God and we'll all sing along all the earth. New song unto God. Shiru Ladonai kol haaretz. Shiru Ladonai shir chadash. I will sing unto God a new song. Yivarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha.
May God bless you and keep you.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka.
May God's radiance shine upon you and within you and be gracious to you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. Shalom.
And may God's countenance always be lifted to yours and bring you, your beloved ones, our beloved community, and the world a Shabbat of peace. Amen.
Amen.